When I do talk about some of the projects and stuff that I did work on, a lot of my students today will be like, that was my childhood.
You never know what Wade's gonna drop, like what name, what title of a film, because you're just so shocked and astonished by the work he's done. It's super cool. Hi, I'm Courtney Jones, and I am a fourth-year sound designer in the Design and Production program.
I'm Wade Wilson, and I'm a professor of sound design at UNCSA, and I was a sound designer for ELF.
Did you hear that?
So in designing ELF, the burp here was a huge thing because people don't burp for 13 or 14 seconds. It's just not human. So we had to come up with something to match that brilliant Will Ferrell like expressiveness and stuff that would, you know, people would buy it. My first thing was obviously I was going to try to use people. And so I started to have people in the studio come up to me and saying, oh, I can do that. I can burp that long. I was like, no, you can't. I literally had a line of people outside of my design suite, and they would walk in and drink a whole can of soda and then like stand up at the microphone and maybe get a 3-second burp if they were lucky. Maybe some got a 4-second burp, which was a lot, but it wasn't what I needed. And so I reached out to some voice actors. This one actor, he could really generate maybe like a 6-second at the tops thing that wasn't burping, but he would like settle his head down on his shoulders and he would just vibrate his throat in such a way that it really did sound like a burp. But again, it wasn't long enough. And so what I needed to do was to try to build something that sounded like one thing, which is really hard to do. And I used his stuff in the middle, and then actually I used one of my own burps to start it, and one of my burps to end it, and then I used Maurice's stuff in the middle to kind of sandwich it all together to give us what we ended up with in the film.
I think one of the things that stand out to me in the scene, specifically hearing Wade's like description of how it was created, was knowing that the end and beginning is Wade. Like that's his voice. And I think there's such uniqueness to the way that you can sound design films as a sound designer, because you can put so much of yourself in there, but nobody knows, and it doesn't change the experience at all.
When we were making ELF, it's that thing where when you're working on a film, you'll listen to it or watch scenes hundreds of times, if you will, right? And we went to do the premiere at the Directors Guild Theater in Los Angeles. So it was the first time we got to like watch the film, the full roll of the film with an audience. And I've probably never laughed as hard. It was one of those things where when you leave the thing, you've got little cramps in your cheeks from laughing and smiling. And the audience's reaction to it was a telltale, I think, that like there was some magic happening. And Will Ferrell's performance and Jon Favreau's directing and the costume design and just all of it just came together magically for this film. I feel so lucky to have been a part of this really magical production.